Hello again. So now we're going to apply the steps to success for multiple choice on the ELA Common Core regions that I reviewed in a previous video. The first step is to focus on the questions. What that means is to read and annotate them. Underline the locations of the answers in the question. So basically, for this question, in lines 3 to 5, the narrator portrays Dora Rouge as, so I would underline lines 3 to 5. And for the second question, in line 13, the narrator compares people's lives to dreams in order to illustrate the idea of. So the location would be line 13. Yes. The second thing we're going to do is circle the keywords in the question. So what are the keywords? What am I looking for in question number 1? The narrator portrays Dora Rouge as. So I'm going to look for someone by the name of Dora Rouge and how she is portrayed. The second question, the narrator compares people's lives to dreams in order to illustrate the idea of. So I'm going to look for a comparison between people's lives and dreams. Now, check. All right, the second step, annotate the text. I'm going to go back to the text and based on my annotations of the questions, annotate and circle the text. So the first one would be line 3 to 5. So 1, 2, 3 is right here. I'm going to circle the beginning of the sentence and end it at line 5. And then I'm going to write the question number and the keywords next to it, right? So it would be question 1 and Dora Rouge. So I'm focusing on Dora Rouge in that circled part. The second question would be line 13. I'm looking for people's lives and dreams and how they're being compared. So line 13, 10, 11, 12, 13 is right here. And then I'm going to circle this part. Okay, but I'm going to circle a little before because I see over here that lives are being mentioned. And I'm going to write Q2 comparison between people's lives and dreams. Okay, so check. Now I'm going to shade out the rest lightly. Okay, so I know that I am not going to be focusing on those parts when I'm reading, especially the second time. All right, now I'm going to read the text, and the first time I'm going to read the introductory sentence, the glossary, skim the text for 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm not going to do all this, but I'm going to tell you the introductory sentence is right here. And it says, in this passage, Dora Rouge, a Native American Indian elder, is traveling back to her homeland by canoe with a small group of women. Okay. And the glossary is here, and we have pulled, which is propelled by a boat, and deities, which is gods. All right, now, the second time I read, I'm going to circle the words that relate to what the question is about. So Dora Rouge, right? I'm looking for information about Dora Rouge in this part. Would lie on beaver blankets and tell us what place we would pass on the next day. She'd look at the stars in the shortening night and say, the meeting place or God Island. True to her word, the next day we reached those places. So true to her word. So she seems like someone who knows what she's talking about because she would say where the people are going, and they would reach there the next day. So for that question, I'm going to go back and try to eliminate 2 answers that don't make sense. All right. So the overall charge of this person is positive. She seems like she knows what she's talking about, as I said before, so we don't want to choose anything that's too negative. So compassionate is positive, detached is negative, misguided is negative, and then knowledgeable is positive. So I'm going to eliminate detached and misguided. So we have compassionate and knowledgeable left. So what I said before is that we need to base our evidence based our answer from evidence from the text. So she over here said true to her. It says true to her word. So she, it's either between compassionate and knowledgeable. And she's obviously knowledgeable because she knows what she's talking about. So that is the correct answer. For number 2, we're going to do the same process again and try to determine what the right answer is. So we're looking for a comparison between people's lives and dreams right here. What we thought of as our lives, I'm going to circle that, and being on earth was gone, and now the world was made up of pathways of its own invention. We were only one of the many dreams of earth, and I knew we were just a small dream. So, the dream is being described as small and one of the many that are on earth. So it seems like it's a little bit negative, right? So I'm going to determine the charge of these answers. Resourcefulness is positive. Individuality, positive, I would say. Vulnerability is negative. Insignificant is negative. So I'm going to eliminate these two. And then the only one that is supported by the text is insignificance, because that's basically implied by the smallness of the dream. So that would be my answer for that question. There you have it. Hope this helped you. And this is how I would continue the rest of these questions for any multiple choice, for this passage and all other multiple choice passages.